Good day everyone, I am Princess Leanne B. O'Malley, and now we will be discussing the chapter 6, which is the ecological literacy. So we are going to discuss the definition of ecological literacy, characterizing an eco-literate person, environmental literacy, ecological literacy, and eco-literacy, and of course, the significant benefits of greening initiatives. So first, let us define the ecological literacy. Ecological literacy refers to an individual's understanding not only of ecological concepts, but also of his or her place in the ecosystem. So, when we say ecological literacy, it is about understanding and knowing about nature and ng role natin sa nature. It is like knowing how forests, oceans, animals, plants, and all living things are connected with each other. It is also about knowing our place or role in the natural world. So, hindi lang tayo basta observer. Parte rin tayo ng ecosystem. So, ecological literacy help us to see how our actions affect everything around us. And if we are ecologically literate, we can make a smarter decision on how to interact with nature. So now let's move on. Let's move on to characterizing an ecoliterate person. So ano ba yung mga characteristic ng isang ecoliterate person? Paano ba natin masasabi na ang isang tao ay isang ecoliterate? So first is an inquirer. So it means being someone who asks a lot of questions and want to learn more about nature. Of course, being literate, dapat marami tayong knowledge. Dapat marami tayong alam. So, paano naman tayo magkakaroon ng maraming knowledge? So, we can ask questions, seek out information, and engage in learning experiences to deepen our understanding. So, dapat curious tayo sa mga bagay-bagay about nature. Katulad nga ng palaging sinasabi, ang batang matanong ay maraming alam. And next one is a reflective learner. So if we already have a knowledge, it is also important to have a reflection. So dapat nagkakaroon tayo ng reflection. For example, kung paano ba natin as an individual nakaka-apekto sa nature and ano yung mga gawa natin to minimize the negative effect. So maganda na nagkakaroon tayo ng reflection at hindi lang puro knowledge. Dapat meron tayong knowledge and meron tayong reflection. And the third one is intelligently self-directed. So, intelligently self-directed, if we already have knowledge at nagkaroon na rin tayo ng reflection, an eco-literate person can take action independently. You have the ability to set goals, make plans, and take action. And ecologically literate individuals are proactive in pursuing knowledge and implementing positive changes in their lives. It is also being smart about making choices to help the nature. And the next one is morally responsible. So from the word moral, it is about knowing what is right and wrong. So being an eco-literate person means doing what's right to take care of the environment. Dapat alam natin kung ano ba yung mga dapat nating gawin na makakatulong sa environment and ano yung mga hindi natin dapat na ginagawa na nakakaapekto sa environment. For example, yung pagsama or pag-volunteer na sumama sa mga ginagawang activities ng ating municipalities na alam naman natin na makakatulong sa ating environment. Katulad nga 'di ba nung nangyaring mangrove planting nung nakaraang linggo. So isa sa mga characteristic ng pagiging eco-literate ay dapat dapat may willingness tayo na sumama sa mga ganong activities kasi alam natin na yung mga activities na yun ay may malaking maitutulong sa ating environment. And the next one is ecologically responsible. So kapag sinabi naman natin ecologically responsible, we make choices that minimize harms to environment and promote sustainability. So, for example, instead na gumamit tayo ng mga plastic bags, gagamit tayo ng mga paper bags. And the last one is seek self-transcendence. So, this means feeling like you're a part of being something bigger bigger than just yourself. As an eco-literate individual, we should understand that everything is connected. Then, let's move on to the differences between the environmental literacy, ecological literacy, and eco-literacy. So, ano ba yung pinagkakaiba-iba nitong tatlo? Kapag sinabi nating environmental literacy, it is about knowing about environmental issues like pollution and climate change. It is also understanding how human actions affect natures. Kapag sinabi naman nating ecological literacy, it is understanding how living things and their environment are connected. It is knowing about concepts like how plants, animals, and the environment work together. At kapag sinabi naman nating eco-literacy, it is a broader term that encompasses both environmental literacy and ecological literacy. So, si eco-literacy is sakop niya si environmental literacy and ecological literacy. But it includes the ethical and cultural dimension of human-nature relationship. It is knowing about the environment and ecosystem, but also caring about the nature and wanting to protect it. So, environmental literacy is knowing about environmental problems. Ecological literacy is about understanding nature system. Eco-literacy is about caring for nature and wanting to protect the environment. Next is Green Campus. So, ano ba yung tinatawag nating Green Campus? A Green Campus is a place where environmentally responsible practice and education go hand in hand and where environmentally responsible tenets are borne out by example. So, we all know now colleges and universities are becoming more aware of the damage in the environment caused by the human. So, para masolusyonan ito, they make changes in their operation. Like for example, reducing waste, protecting natural habitat, and using a renewable energy sources. So in short, ang Green Campus is a college or university that focuses on being environmentally friendly in all aspects of its operation. So green campuses aims to reduce their impact on the environment and promote sustainability for future generation. A green campus is a place where environmental responsibility is a priority and efforts are made to create a more sustainable future for everyone. And here are the significant benefits of greening initiatives. First is environmental and economic sustainability. So ano ba pag sinabi natin environmental and economic sustainability? So this means that by adopting sustainable practices, colleges and university can help protect the environment while also saving money in the long run. For example, gagamit sila ng mga renewable energy sources like solar or wind power. And then the next one is reputation as a leader through example. So colleges and university can show others how to be environmentally responsible. So parang sila yung magsisilbing role model para kung ano yung ginagawa nilang maganda na nakakatulong sa ating environment ay magagaya nating mga citizen. And for example, by teaching course on environmental topics and practicing eco-friendly habitats on campus, they inspire others to do the same. And then, economic benefits. So being environmental friendly can also save money for institutions. For example, by finding ways to use less water or electricity, colleges can reduce their bills and have more money to spend on the other things and real-life work experiences for students. Students can gain a valuable skills by getting involved in environmental projects on campus. For example, they might do audits to find areas where the school can improve its environmental practices, or they might work on pollution prevention project. So this experience helped them become better problem solvers and prepare them for the future job. So, yung mga parang yung experience nila is makakatulong sa kanila in the near future. And then, improve quality of life on campus. So, creating a green campus by implementing sustainable practices makes the environment cleaner, safer, and healthier for students, faculty, and staff. For example, planting trees and green spaces can improve air quality and reduce stress. So, yan yung mga significant benefits ng greening initiatives. So, ecological literacy is a form of transformative education that requires shifts in three related areas: in perception, in conception, and in action. So, in school, teachers are also required to shift emphasis through the following. So, the first one is from parts to whole. From parts to whole. So dito, instead of just looking at individual pieces like a single tree or animal, we explore how everything in nature is connected and works together as a whole system. So for example, so imagine that you're studying a tree in a forest. So instead of only learning about trees leaves or roots, so imbes na pag-aralan mo lahat ng tungkol dun sa trees, you will also consider how it interacts with other plants, animals in the environment around it. So these broader perspectives help us to understand how each part contributes to the health and balance of the entire ecosystem. And the next one is from object to relationship. So this shift is all about understanding that things in nature are not just individual objects. They are all connected and depend on each other. So, for example, instead of just learning about a single bird, like robin, students explore how robin interacts with other living things in its environment. They learn that robin eat insects which helps control insect population, and they also spread seed when they eat fruits, helping plants grow in different areas. So this shows students that the robin is part of a bigger web of life where each living things play a role in supporting others. Then we have from object knowledge to contextual knowledge. So, object knowledge is like knowing facts and information by themselves, while contextual knowledge is understanding those facts within the bigger picture of how they relate to each other and the world around us. So, for example, let's talk about water. So, objective knowledge might be knowing that water is made of two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom or H2O. Sa conceptual knowledge goes beyond this and looks at how water moves through the environment. So, from rain falling from clouds to filling up rivers and lakes and eventually evaporating back into the air. So, conceptual knowledge help us see the importance of water for all living things and how it sustains ecosystem. Then we have from quantity to quality. So this shift is all about focusing on the overall quality and health of ecosystem rather than just counting the number of things. So for example, instead of simply counting the number of trees in a forest, students learn assess the health of the entire forest ecosystem. They look at factors like biodiversity, soil quality, and water availability to understand how well the ecosystem is functioning. So, by shifting the focus from quantity to quality, students develop a deeper understanding of ecosystem and the importance of maintaining their overall health and balance for a well-being of all living organisms within them. Then, we have from structure to process. So this shift involves focusing on how things change and evolve over time, rather than just studying their physical parts or characteristics. So, for example, instead of simply learning about the parts of a tree like the roots, the trunk, the branches, the leaves, students explore the process that occur within the tree throughout its life cycle. So, they can learn about photosynthesis, the process by which trees convert sunlight into energy, and how this process is essential for their growth and survival. So, through hands-on activities and experiment, students explore how external factors like sunlight, water availability, and soil composition influence the growth and health of trees in different ecosystems. So, by focusing on the process rather than the structure, students gain a deeper understanding of how living things interact with their environment and adapt to changes over time. So they learn to appreciate the dynamic nature of ecosystem and the interconnectedness of all living things within within them. Then the last one is from contents to pattern. So this means instead of just learning about individual things, like one kind of animals or plant, students look for a repeated shapes or behaviors in nature. So, for example, instead of just learning about one bird, student might notice that many birds migrate to warmer place in the winter by seeing this to in the winter. So, 'di ba kapag alam natin yung kapag yung mga ibon kapag magwi-winter na, lilipat naman sila dun sa place na kung saan is mas warm yung season. So by seeing this pattern, they understand how birds adapt to changes in the weather and find food. And that would be all.